response video to, yes, Derpa Derpa Man. Whatever, the seventh Teletubby, poo-poo. Yeah, the Scottish poo-poo. Yuck. Anyway, yeah, 36-minute video. Alright, so I'll do this in pieces. And then there's some of this Scottish turd. I think it's Scottish, whatever. I mean, the Great Britain, or whatever they call it. What's that thing they use that combines them all? They call themselves. But anyway, yeah, they really should have just turned all these, whatever, these sub colonies into fucking golf courses and use their heads for croquet balls or something. Fucking tubby little fat morons. Jesus. Nothing but a liability. Yeah, fuck. Wish I was king. Anyway, doesn't matter. Asshole. It just seems like asshole all over the place. So, the beginning of his argument is just a stupid nonsense. 6 minutes and 42 seconds in, and basically conceding the point and then doing it in this convoluted manner. I'll call you a name because you called us a name, kind of crap. Just pointless. Just a pointless, idiotic argument. Okay, there's a simple truth here. Being sentient is not necessarily a good time. That's just the truth. You're not necessarily the roll of the dice is not necessarily win. You're basically brought into the world. Your parents give you some rationalization, like, well, you're an expression of our love. No, they make a decision to do a biological experiment, and it can go all wrong in all kinds of ways. And the sentient will be stuck with it, and they'll be stuck with this truth. I mean, the first time they told me you're going to die, I was like, well, then what the hell did you start this mess for? Why don't you fix that before making me? I mean, why don't you wait till you know what you're doing and then make me, okay? Like, I don't really like being the demonstration model, and I certainly don't like being the janitor model, and I don't like the, terminally diseased model, because that's basically what life is, a terminal disease. You're just here to replicate. It's all you're here to do by the biologies dictate. So this is just really lame. So these people just keep making this argument that, well, if you don't like it, it's because you're a pussy, and you should feel like us. You should chase the balloons and be all happy that you have a little drink in your little glass, and you have a couch to mush on. I mean, it's just such a pile of shit. That you're going to tell other people what's acceptable, what they have to eat. I mean, you're just saying sit at the table and eat their fucking gruel, or else move to another planet. I mean, you're just fucking assholes. You take no responsibility for what it costs for you to do this shit. What it costs for you to do this shit means that people are subjected to a great amount of harm, because of the dice roll nature of the game. You're just such a fucking petty weasel not to accept some responsibility for that, and not to overtly accept responsibility for the fact that you're saying you will impose, you will do it, that you are worth it. And you're not going to make an argument to me how you're worth it, though. I can explain what suffering is. I can point to it and say, there, minimize that, asshole. And you will try to. You will try to say it's just a perception in their head. And that just shows what a weasel you are. Because I can certainly make you run like hell from that perception in your goddamn head if I put it in front of you. But what you can't explain is anything justifying besides your perception of value. You can't explain to me how the universe misses the Martians, how the universe misses the Plutonians. Do that. Explain to me what's missing, how the universe is deprived, how something is awfully wrong because they don't exist. And then explain to me how it's any different for our existence. And the fact is, the only reason why we exist is because assholes like you have a silly notion in your head. Explain how it's not just a silly notion. Explain that. Explain that dichotomy between those two perceptions. Your ability to see no Martians in the universe and not shed a fucking single tear. And your inability to even comprehend the universe without humans in it. Explain that, fucker. So enough for the first 6 minutes. So let's endure some more. Alright, I'll play a little bit of this part.
Oh my god, I can't hold it. I can't.
Yes.
That's justification enough.
Right, so he was basically mocking the idea that somebody would care about the net product of planet Earth, what wars we've had, what horror has been conducted, because, we're all supposed to live in the moment because we're not smart enough or ethical enough to take responsibility for what the whole thing costs, to look at it in perspective. So we can just be drunk. We don't have to think about drunk driving accidents. We could just be a drunk. We can just run over whatever the fuck we want and just say, oh, at that moment that's not good. But I'll just acknowledge that I had no context, I had no knowledge that that's what happens, that lives are ruined by drunk drivers. No, I'll just pretend that's not what really happens. So I can just conduct my behavior, just go on your little fat bubbly joyride, chasing your fucking pink balloons of illusion. He concedes It's hopeless. He concedes heat death of the human race anyway. He concedes that there's not much of an accomplishment but a delusion of perception of value, and he just says, I don't care. He says the literal words, I don't care. Alright, and that's the truth of it. That's the argument here. You either care or you don't care. And then he has the obnoxiousness to call himself an atheist. He has the obnoxiousness to say that other people are not atheists because they think life should have a purpose. You believe in a God, or you're somehow religious because you have the expectation that something you're going to do on purpose, that you're going to conduct, that you're going to be responsible for, should have a fucking reason and purpose. That there should be more than just a delusion in your fucking head. That you should be doing more than just masturbating on planet Earth. That's right. You're a fucking religious nut. If you don't believe that kind of nihilist, turdish, ignorant slop. Just be a Borgish little dumb animal. Forget you have knowledge, just be a dumb animal, okay? Scratch your little fucking itches, alright? Your little fungus-infested balls, and say, there, I've done my job on planet Earth. Yeah, well, fuck you. As an atheist, I find you such a grotesque indignity that we have to suffer assholes like you calling themselves atheists. You nihilist motherfucker. You disgusting, putrid pile of shit. You're the one with the disgusting values of an idiotic, moronic God. They'll justify, I'll kill them all. What the fuck do I care? I'll drown them all. They're just things to piss on. Fuck you. And he talks about the only thing that matters is some sort of, like, if you hold somebody's hand when they're dying, it's all okay. That undoes it all. So yeah, 2-3 years of chemotherapy. Who the fuck cares because I held your fucking hand? Fuck you and your fucking holding hand. Alright, I just wish you could die close to me so I could piss on your death. You grotesque pile of shit. You would impose this shit on other people. You'll tell them what they are allowed to feel or what they should feel. Fuck you. You have no right to play the game. You have no right to instigate the game. You want to play it, you want to live in the moment, you go fucking ahead, live in the moment, but don't drag me into your goddamn putrid moment. Your hand-holding sissy bullshit. Your fucking delusions of fat grandeur. You stupid, disgusting, putrid pile of shit. I'd rather be a retarded tree sloth than you. Goddamn grotesque monsters.
To pass on to other people and ask them to accept. And if it's a really simplistic one, that will dissonate with that person. It will produce cognitive dissonance, which will result in them either denying the things that cause the dissonance and then accepting the model, or for them to reject the model. And in the most part, unless you're brought up in that culture, in that language, in that society, then you will reject that model.
Alright, so there's another concession that somehow we're supposed to just be a product of our culture, that we're not clever enough to be intellectuals and to think rationally and put our biases somewhere else, when we're talking about reality or describing reality, that somehow we have to be emotional about photons and electrons and even perceptions, and that those can't be easily changed. Yeah, right. Sorry. Anyway, alright. He talks about some sort of, we're having some existential conflict. The only conflict is with reason and logic. Alright? Yeah, that's right. You can't make this rational, okay? Reality is not a rational thing. It's not rationally constructed. It's not sensibly constructed. It's unintelligent design. And you assholes will replace the word unintelligent design or designless or purposeless with some existential word and just pretend and invade the truth. Because you won't just fucking admit that it's stupid. It's not intelligent. It's stupid. Its mission statement is missing. It doesn't have one. That's a big fucking missing thing. You need a prime directive that has some sort of rational integrity. And the prime directive of reproduce for the sake of reproducing is not a rational prime directive. It's ludicrous, idiotic, imbecilic. Only a Teletubby could make any sense of it, because they would go lulu poo poo. And then they would say, I don't know, I can't do it. I'll have to get existential because I can't figure out the obvious. That it's just porridge, stupid, porridge, stupid. It's a stupid, redundant, idiotic, forced march for no accomplishment. So he says in here somewhere, we will choose to be. Like he's the life liver, and he's talking about looking into the abyss of death and non-existence, and like he's been there. What a joke. And again, perverting the argument that somehow this is an argument about how you live your life and not an argument about whether you should make living things. whether you should roll dice, take risks with their welfare. I don't like being here, and I've had every fucking, not every advantage, but I've been really fucking lucky. And I still can see this as a shithole. You know, and I certainly wouldn't want to bargain of that roll of the dice, whatever that is. You know, a 3.5. Yeah, no thank you. The dice fell into a fucking pile of dog shit. They rolled into dog shit. That's what that roll was. Would I want that? No, I'd sacrifice. I'd put in hard time as me to avoid being you. And that's essentially what I'm doing right now. I'm basically saying, look, assholes, think about it before you do this procreate thing, and think about the victim, the potential victim, and it's the fact that it doesn't want to be that thing. You can't imagine a life you wouldn't want to fucking live, you idiot. I mean, just how dare you? So again, it's not about we will choose to be. It's about you will choose to impose. So just say the fucking words. Have the balls to say the fucking words. We will impose. Say them, asshole. Because that's what you're goddamn doing. And say you'll do it out of a preposterous, idiotic notion that somehow you think it's accomplishing something, even though you can't explain what we are accomplishing that the Martians aren't. Yeah, that's right. And I'll bring them up again, because if you use this, you are the infinite set of you. Yes, we're another version of the infinite set of you. Well, it's not infinite in the first place. There's no fucking proof of that. You even conceded the heat death of the universe, you dumb fuck. But where's the infinite set of Martian? Where's the infinite set of Plutonian yous? What's their justification? Oh, that's right, they don't mean a goddamn thing. There's no fucking reason. For no fucking reason. Again, Holocaust. People burned skin off in the goddamn nuclear fucking bomb droppings. I mean, all the victims of Alzheimer's on this planet. All these forced marches of horror for nothing, for absolutely nothing. You think you should be at least able to articulate an accomplishment, an end game, a product for this goddamn payment you impose. Again, justify you doing it. You're the one saying it must be. Nothing else is saying it has to be, but you, fuckwit. Your delusions, your fucking notions in your damn fucking head. Fucking notions. You will impose, you will torture, you will torment for a fucking notion in your fucking head. Fuck you. Fuckwit.
A cat live and make yelping noises when it lives. We can imagine it has a sore leg or something along those lines. It's experiencing pain and suffering because of its abnormal functioning, its dysfunction. But that's what we're doing. We're not reading its mind. What we're doing is we're projecting our reasons for behaving that way onto the cat. We're anthropomorphizing it. Or as some people would say, I would say we're projecting. We're projecting onto the cat and saying, if I were acting in that way, it's because I'd be feeling pain. And I would be suffering as a result of that. So I can imagine that the cat is suffering and is feeling pain. But it's projection. And again, I'm still agreeing with the person. We're reading the minds. But I'm giving a more accurate version of it. The reason I'm giving a more accurate version is because I'm reducing the supposition the person makes. And I'm saying, this is how you can take your subjectivity and apply it to another subject. And then...
Oh, how silly can you goddamn get? This is always so stupid. You can project your subjectivity. No, you're projecting your knowledge, your understanding. You've personally experienced having a fucking sore leg or paw, alright? And so you have knowledge. You're not projecting your subjectivity. You're projecting your knowledge of a circumstance. I mean, Jesus Christ. Can't you people ever think that there are actually things in your head that are called ideas or notions or understandings? They're not made out of nothing. They're not valueless, subjective crap. No, they are things that have cognitive substance. They have logical substance. They are useful bits of information. We have dissected what the planet Earth is. We've dissected the biological crust. We've dissected its history. We understand it now. It's not a subjective calculation. It's a fucking objective calculation based on tons and tons of experimentation and hours and hours of analyzing. Stupid idiot. All right. Well, the worst line out of this segment was his critique of natural selection. The evil of natural selection is the fact that it imposed a fear of harm is the horror. The fact that we fear harm is the horror of natural selection. It isn't harm that's the problem. No, that's not the problem. The harm is fine. It's being knowledgeable of the harm, apparently, is the problem. Or having the notion of the harm, or having an idea of the harm. are being fucking rational enough to figure out the harm is not a good thing, and I don't like the fact that I'm slated for my day in the chopping block. Fuck you. That's not the fucking crime. The crime is the game, you stupid shit. It isn't the fucking perception of the game. It isn't the fact that we know we're in a game. No, the game itself is broken, and all rational, intelligent, anything could qualify as intelligent on this fucking planet should be able to simply say, well, I guess until we have a mission statement, until we have a real justification for this, we shouldn't produce more of it. I mean, it's not that hard to say, and it's really easy to logically defend without getting into some sort of subjective bullshit. All you have to do is make a rational argument why waste is a good thing. You're not going to be able to do that, and that's what life has all over it. That's what it is. He keeps talking about certainty in here too, like somehow it's uncertainty or certainty that's the problem. No one gives a fuck about that. The problem is that we have enough evidence. We basically can see what the game is, and we're being gamed by a DNA molecule. There's nothing to celebrate about that. We're basically part of a Borg DNA molecule that for 4 billion years has been replicating itself in an insidious manner through an insidious process. An insidious gladiator war for absolutely no fucking prize, for no accomplishment, for no victory, no dead Adolf Hitler in the end. Alright, this fucking war has taken place merely, we're being completely used, like in a Star Trek episode where some aliens were using other people because they enjoyed watching them suffer. That's all. You're just playing the same game. You're just like some overlord who says, I will feed on your suffering. Well, fuck you, Lord Blubbernuts. Fucking asshole.
A desire to build causal models of reality, definitely. We are this process of...
Whatever. Yeah, so right there he's saying, you know, I guess derived energy was saying we're inherently religious for, I can't remember what reason, but whatever, which I don't think we're inherently anything like that anyway. Ignorance inherently draws convenient conclusions. That's what you do. When you don't have an answer, you make up the answer you like the best. And so they're convenient conclusions. And so obviously convenient conclusions to come up with a reason why this thing is broken. And God is a good reason. You could just blame it on God. He has a mission. He has a secret plan. It's a hidden Easter egg with a surprise bonus Jack-in-the-Box. Secret prize Cracker Jackie thing. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, now it makes sense. So you lie to yourself. Yeah, we have a tendency to lie to ourselves when it's convenient to our ego, our own selfish interest. Oh yeah, duh. That's what we have. But anything with a welfare is going to have a tendency to do that. So yeah, Blubbernuts said some really stupid things here. I like that, Blubbernuts. You know, we want it to be my choice. I want it to be my choice, and then he says their choice. And he uses the word choice. And just an amazing, preposterous statement coming from some asshole who's making a decision for something else and presuming it's going to say thank you. And not giving a fuck if it doesn't say thank you. Basically saying, well, too fucking bad, I wanted to do it. That's all he's got. So we should educate ourselves to not need, and, I mean, for him, is it not to need. You don't need it to make sense. You don't need it to be rational. You don't need there to be a net benefit to the whole game. Just play the game. Just row the boat. Just be a good fucking slave to the machine. All right? And that's all he's saying. All right? Yeah, of course. Slavery is a mental proposition, okay? You're not a slave. You're just a hard worker. Right? So just be a hard worker. Just put in a good 12-hour day and just don't think of the plantation owner as a plantation owner. Think of him as Jolly McNutnuts. And, he's the happy clown that, in the future will give everybody joy, 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 happy, happy, happy. Or some other kind of bullshit. And then you can do your labor and you won't be a slave anymore. That's all he's saying. Just make up a fantasy. This is the guy calling himself an atheist. Make up a fantasy, a lie, to make a replicating molecule sound like it has a mission statement, a purpose, and a function. Why? Because we should be in tears and amazed. In tears, that's what he says. We should be, why not in tears? I should be in tears because chemicals became aware of their presence in the universe, and that should make me cry. Right? An animal getting hit by a car, that shouldn't make me cry, but this fucking goddamn idiotic idea that I'm a biological machine basically designed to fuck over everything on this planet to get my DNA into the future should have me in tears of joy that I have a cognitive sense, a scheming, manipulating psychology designed to weasel me through a bunch of dead material, a bunch of fucking corpses, so I can get to the Big Mac first. and I should be in tears over that fucking amazing fact. No, it's not amazing. It's a biological process, a replicating molecule. It creates goddamn machines. I'm a fucking machine in a goddamn fucking slaughterhouse. I should feel good that I'm the chopping machine in a fucking slaughterhouse. That should have me in tears of joy and amazement because I'm a brilliantly designed slicing machine in a fucking slaughterhouse. Fuck you, you stupid turd. God, you're stupid. You are just fucking stupid. Okay, finishing up. So he ends here talking about how he's thankful for what he's, for how he understands and whatever, blah blah blah. And it's just more bullshit. This is psychobabble. Okay, more talk about how you think you're living a good life, or you think you are you're comfortable with your philosophy, or you're comfortable with your life, or you're comfortable with the way the world is, or whatever. That's not the subject of the fucking. That's not the subject of antinatalism, retard. The subject of antinatalism is why do you need to create new humans, and is that need justified? Is the behavior justified? Do you have a right to do it? Do you have a right to impose? Do you have a right to take this risk and impose this on somebody else? That's the fucking subject, shithead. Either that's right or wrong behavior. Okay, the subject isn't how do you live a good life, you dumb fuck.
Life prove that life should be born. We could use it to prove that necrophilia is a moral good. You can use it to conclude a whole multitude of other things.
Right. So he's saying that the Benatar asymmetry can be used to prove all this other nonsense, somehow that life should have been. I love to see you do that without completely perverting the truth of it, all right? The fact is it's a simple equation, all right? It points out that there's no positive benefit that has any real substance, and all the risk is real, okay? You're opening the door to risk, and there is no possibility of creating anything else, because that's the nature, that's the basic mechanism built into the system. The needs are built inside of you. The purpose is inside of you. It's a delusion in your fucking head. The accomplishment is not real in the fucking goddamn world. The cat doesn't need to exist, and its suffering is real if a tree falls on it. That's the reality. There's no need for its existence, and its suffering is real. You can't turn that into something else, shithead. And it's not because it's simple because that's the simple truth, you dumb shit. It's a zero-sum game. If you called the book Zero-Sum Game, alright, could you use that asymmetry of the zero-sum game? No, you can't. The zero-sum game can't be used to say, no, the game really has a huge profit. Well, go ahead, explain the huge profit, shithead. Explain to me the profit of the human race's fucking existence. Explain to me the profit of the existence of life on planet Earth versus not life on Pluto and not life on Mars. Explain it to me, shithead. Rationally, logically, sensibly.
It's a simplistic little model that you can squeeze lots of things through.
Yeah, that's just a simplistic little sentence of babble that is absolutely no fucking intellectual integrity whatsoever. You can't demonstrate it, you can't prove it, you can't do a goddamn thing, you just say it. You just say, well, that war isn't really happening. That's just a delusion in your head. Fuck you.
Okay. And it appeals to you because it appeals to pessimism. And you're in a pessimistic state.
Well, again, so you're going to use another stupid, pointless word, so you're an optimist then. There. Problem solved, right? No, the argument about is what's the truth, you dumb fuck? It's not about whether somebody's pessimistic or optimistic. Those are useless words of conversation in an argument. Absolutely motherfucking useless. The argument is what's the fucking truth? What's the reality? Is it a zero-sum game, or is there some other game taking place? Is there any evidence of any other game but a zero-sum game that certainly kind of basically guarantees failure? Because the only way you get to the zero is if you're doing it perfectly, and we're obviously not going to do it perfectly.
And it doesn't quite fit into my brain, although I've been in the state you are in right now on numerous occasions in my life. Yeah,
again, to turn a philosophical subject, again, just turn into some more subjective, psychological bibble-babble. People are making explicit, logical arguments. Benatar's book is basically devoted to that, and you're just smearing it all with your fucking poo by saying, I had diarrhea once, and, well, right then I wasn't too happy about having an anus. That's not the subject, you stupid fat pig.
I think I've got enough defense against pessimism now to be able to withstand the worst.
Oh, yeah, whatever. So again, your philosophy, I think I know what I think I know, but I might change my mind if I get sad, but I think I won't change my mind if I get sad. I mean, this is the grade of philosophy now. I believe it kind of, sort of, maybe, possibly. No, I would invest my fucking guts, okay? You could sit there and gut me in the public square if I'm wrong, okay? I'm so fucking confident that I'm fucking right. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to alter my mind. I'm not going to twist. Not one little fucking neuron is going to fall out of my fucking mind, okay? This is so fucking putridly, disgustingly goddamn obvious that you fucking idiots, you Teletubby morons, have made up this delusion of fucking grandeur, and that this really is just a fucking slaughterhouse, you stupid shits. It's a bunch of fucking machines killing each other to fucking get DNA into the future, you stupid shits. That's the fucking truth, you stupid dumb fuck.
And to be able to withstand being constrained by one perspective.
Oh, by one perspective, by drawing the obvious conclusion that 1 + 1 = 2. Well, I won't be constrained by this fucking obvious truth that the fucking truth is right there in front of us. No, instead I'll talk about, let's see, the failing of dogma, not the failing of reality. Oh, the folly. So the folly is the dogma of reason. Okay, that's his definition of the folly, is being rational enough to just look at the fucking truth. That's folly, but the fucking reality isn't folly. The idiotic system of, replicating molecule 4 billion years ago evolves a bunch of, hammerhead shark-style tools to wiggle through a bunch of corpses to say, I win. Yeah, no, that's not folly. Oh, no, that's not folly. Fuck you. So he also used the Sisyphus line. You just push the rock up the hill. 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 Don't need a reason. Don't need a reason. Don't need a reason. Don't give a fuck what the rock rolls over. Don't give a fuck about the yelling and the screaming. Just hold its fucking hand. Run over a fucking animal with your car, and just for fun, get out of the car and hold its little paw while the blood gushes out of its fucking neck and it goes, yeah. Good times for all. Fuck you people. God, the only goddamn thing that makes me happy now is just realizing that they're going to get blown up. They're going to get killed horribly. I just can't wait till they fucking glow in the dark. You fuckers suck. This is a high-risk, evil, fucking nasty bitch game. And you should have at least enough humility to say, you know what, if you're going to step into this shit, if you're going to fucking breed these rats and put them in this goddamn maze, you ought to think about it first. You could at least goddamn say that. You could at least say you ought to have a little bit of pause and think for a minute about, there's an awful lot of suffering on this planet, man. Just think about how many mice right now, the little traps are snapping. And it misses them a little bit, and their legs broken. They worm out, and they crawl off, and they have a busted leg. Or they get smacked in the head and the blood's coming out of their ears and they crawl off and live for another 3 days spinning around in a circle. Why don't you think about that for a fucking minute, you fucking cunts, and then tell me that it's a no risk, that you're just boldly going where no asshole has gone before. No, take it a little bit fucking seriously, you fat ass. That's all I'm asking you to do, is make a rational argument. Is maybe write it down a paragraph. Could you fucking obligate your fucking procreating asshole breeder friends to maybe just take a little time and write a paragraph explaining what you hope to accomplish besides satisfying your own ego desires? You talk about the folly. The folly is the ego bullshit, the silly notions in your fucking idiotic cunt head that think you're accomplishing something, you pompous, fat, blubber-nutted pig shit. Fuck you. Die the worst death possible, you fucking miserable, blabby piece of shit.